In the disco era, vinyl was made to move bodies, spinning under mirrored lights, carrying bass lines through smoke-filled rooms. Pressed with rhythm, excess, and escape. It was never meant to heal, never meant to burn, and yet far from dance floors and turntables, that same black material found a second life, not as music, but as medicine. In the city of Bulawayo, an unusual and quietly spoken of practice persists. Fragments of old vinyl records are burned with a blend of herbs, and the resulting smoke is inhaled to treat stubborn phlegm. Once symbols of music and nightlife, the vinyl records are repurposed as a carrier for stubborn illness, believed to help loosen deep chest congestion when conventional remedies fail. Unconventional, undocumented, and tightly held, the ritual reflects a local willingness to draw healing from unexpected materials when breath itself is at stake. One herbalist opens up and shares this unusual practice.
This is intutu, what we call intutu. Intutu means smoke.
You can't directly translate it, then you say it's a smoke.
You can't directly translate it, then you say it's smoke.
When you burn it, it produces
But when you burn it, it produces smoke. You mix this and that. This is more than 10 herbs that are mixed together. It's a concoction. The vinyl record is not included here. You add the record for special purposes.
When asked how this is administered, he explains.
You just let it like that, or you take it.
You can just take it directly or under a blanket.
When quizzed, the reasons why the vinyl record is used are not provided. And when the herbalist cannot locate a record, the alternative is equally intriguing.
A cassette tape.
Philip, a traditional and herbal specialist, and Mrs. Jennifer Broughton, a medical and herbal expert with more than 5 decades of combined herbal experience between them, offer their insights into this unusual practice and others they have encountered in the field.
No, I wouldn't say it works, but I've been told it works.
Yeah.
The vinyl, the record.
Oh, the record also works.
The thing is to look at the ingredients that make the vinyl. It's a tree found in Dietary, rubber trees. So in most cases, it does work. And those people who are suffering from seizures, those people suffering from what we in the herbal medicine do not comprehend mainly. It is things that they would say it's more spiritual, but it works. I have been privy to see that being administered 4, 5, or 6 times, and I've seen that it works. But the final record, they either use petrol sometimes on prostate, yes. They sometimes use alena, some funny stone carved from somewhere, and it's meant to gargle, and you use it for some other item. They do it. Yeah, that I can attest to.
My comment on that would be, it's fine. I personally I wouldn't condemn it because I don't know about it, put it that way. But it's not necessary if you are in herbal medicine. If you are a traditional healer, this is the greatest problem. I don't know about in any other country, but in Zimbabwe, they cannot, for some unknown reason, sensibly split herbal medicine and traditional medicine. Keep your traditional medicine. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. Do it. But why can't we have herbal medicine as one thing and traditional medicine as another? Everywhere in the world there is herbal medicine. Even in England there's Welsh herbal medicine. They call it traditional medicine. But here in Zimbabwe, traditional medicine is their culture. Why can't it be left alone or educated as a separate entity? Why do they combine it with what we call medical herbalism? But why would we combine the two? You're looking at one as Western medicine, Western herbal medicine is literally replacing medicine with natural products, with trees and what have you. Why can that not be kept apart from traditional medicine? But then you wonder when they're using a vinyl record which has not been on the market for 1,000 years. When they put petrol and there's three things they put together, and one of them is petrol for prostate cancer. And you know what? The frightening thing is, it treats it.
In many societies, masculinity is measured in silence. Strength is expected. Vulnerability is hidden. And when a man's body does not respond as expected, the struggle often goes unheard. Erectile dysfunction, often referred to as ED, is the persistent inability to achieve or maintain an erection sufficient for sexual activity. While modern medicine frequently explains ED through blood flow, hormones, nerves, or psychological stress, traditional medicine views it differently. In many traditional systems, ED is not a single disease. It is a signal that something in the body's balance has shifted. Fatigue, emotional distress, poor circulation, chronic illness, and even spiritual disharmony are believed to contribute to sexual weakness. Yet across generations, men have turned to traditional medicine, not only for healing the body, but for restoring balance, dignity, and hope. In Southern Africa, traditional medicine has played a central role in men's sexual health, including the treatment of ED for centuries. The core approach to treatment is to restore strength, circulation, and desire, rather than producing an immediate effect. Most treatments are plant-based, with remedies prepared from roots, bark, bulbs, or tubers. These are commonly boiled into decoctions or soaked as infusions, then taken orally over several days or weeks. In South Africa, especially Limpopo province, ethnobotanical studies among traditional healers describe remedies such as African potato, Hypoxis species. The underground tuber is boiled and taken as a tonic, believed to improve vitality, blood circulation, and male strength. Mondia whitei, often called African ginger or white ginger. The aromatic root is chewed fresh or prepared as a drink to enhance libido and sexual stamina. It is widely known across Eastern and Southern Africa as an aphrodisiac. Xanthoxylum species, roots or bark are used in decoctions believed to stimulate blood flow and nerve function associated with erection. Wabuja species. Bark preparations are sometimes included in mixtures when erectile problems are thought to be linked to infections, weakness, or chronic illness. Papia capensis, jacket plum, used in some communities as a strengthening or aphrodisiac remedy, often combined with other plants. In Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, and Botswana, similar practices are recorded, with local plant species substituted based on availability. These traditional treatments are documented primarily through ethnobotanical research and oral tradition, recording healer knowledge passed down through generations. While laboratory and animal studies exist for some plants, clinical trials in humans remain limited, and effectiveness is largely based on traditional experience rather than modern biomedical testing. Traditional healers often emphasize correct identification, dosage, and duration. However, erectile dysfunction may signal diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart disease. Some herbal remedies can interact with modern medication, and it is advisable to always speak to your doctor before combining medication. Great Zimbabwe was once the heart of a powerful African civilization, where stone architecture, trade, spirituality, and healing were deeply connected. Between the 11th and 15th centuries, its people practiced a holistic system of traditional medicine that united herbal knowledge with spiritual belief, guided by healers and ancestral wisdom. This ancient approach to health reveals a sophisticated understanding of the human body, nature, and the unseen world, an enduring legacy that continues to shape African healing traditions today. Healing traditions originating in the era of Great Zimbabwe established herbal and spiritual frameworks for sexual health that were transmitted through successive generations and became embedded within the medical cultures of the Shona, Ndebele, Kalanga, and Tonga peoples. Contemporary healers continue to apply evolved forms of this inherited knowledge in the treatment of erectile dysfunction, reflecting a sustained cultural lineage that connects historical practice with present-day indigenous healthcare.
Erectile dysfunction in traditional medicine is regarded as in Shona chirwere chemsana, ngesindebele umkhuhlane weqolo. In most practitioners, you will find that is one of the must know or the must have products that one has to learn. Sexual reproduction or sexual health is vital to humans. It's one thing that you can just say, okay, I've got BP, I've got diabetes, I can manage it. But if your sex life is not going well, that is a stress. That is a strenuous, that is a painful, and that is something that you cannot live with. So when we talk about sexual health, it's something that you cannot manage. It is something that needs to be treated. We've got the physical aspect and we've got the spiritual aspect. On the physical aspect, you've got herbs that you take for detox. to detoxify, what we call cleansing. We've got imbiza. Some may use one herb, some may use a cocktail of herbs to deal with this. Then we've got the spiritual side, where maybe you've been copulating with someone's wife. An act of witchcraft is conducted, and it is actually called ukubochwa ngesindebele kana kusungwa nechishona. In that case, there is also a list of herbs or species that are used for the treatment of this kind of erectile dysfunction.
Traditional medicine often combines multiple ingredients in a single remedy based on the idea of synergy, that different components work together to enhance benefit and reduce harm. Ingredients may be included to target different symptoms, balance perceived hot-cold or yin-yang qualities, improve absorption, counteract side effects, or adapt treatment to the whole person, not just one disease. These combinations are usually derived from empirical tradition and theory, rather than controlled trials. While some mixtures may have pharmacological rationale, others lack scientific validation. So effectiveness and safety vary and require evidence-based evaluation.
Nani futhi yana ngifake umshayo lo wempande nalo welen ngabo phinde umshayo konke lokho ukumbele infertility.
Okay, so what have you mixed here?
Umshayo
Kindomshayo,
ngobazwe emulam salap sikundi.
Some traditions believe that harm, jealousy, spells, or spiritual attacks can be directed at a person. ED is therefore linked with spells, witchcraft, or muti placed by a jealous partner, a rival, or an ex-lover as a revenge act. There is also a strong belief that such acts can be reversed and sent back to their source. One term often mentioned in discussions about manhood and vitality is pindam shaya. Pinda means to repeat, and shaya refers to hitting or striking. Pindam shaya is a plant or umuti that is used to return back the spell to the sender. In this context, pindam shaya may be used symbolically as part of cleansing rituals or protective practices intended to remove negative influence rather than directly treat the body. Pindam shaya is therefore associated with restoring sexual strength and addressing erectile difficulties. These challenges are sometimes viewed not only as physical conditions, but as the result of stress, social tension, or spiritual interference.
So, do you drink all of this as it is?
You boil it. You boil it. You pour a full cup. Put in a little sugar and drink like a cup of tea.
When does it start working?
You drink some today, and then you drink some tomorrow.
action currently.
Then the action. When does it start?
Action currently, same time.
When do I see action? Same time?
You have to drink some today, and then you drink some tomorrow, and then tomorrow evening you'll be ready.
In African traditional medicines, food is medicine. Our ancestors and elders believed health starts with what we eat. Traditional foods like rapoko, millet, sorghum, groundnuts, pumpkins, and wild vegetables strengthen the body, boost immunity, and prevent disease. When we move away from natural foods to processed ones, illness follows. That's why traditional diets are being rediscovered to fight diabetes, high blood pressure, and weak immunity. Our traditional foods are not old. They are powerful medicine.
We should be talking of any prostate cancer here in Zimbabwe. If people stick to good diets, tomato is one thing that actually prevents, it's preventive, prevents prostate expansion. Same with tomato. But because you're busy eating your soups and these pulverized soups, you pick for rice and stuff, I don't take all those myself. We should be really meeting some of these elements that we're not calling common. And for instance, you find the way we use cooking oil here in Zimbabwe. I won't mention names of the oil, but it has so much cholesterol because it's not fully processed. All our cooking oil here, it's not fully processed. That's why you find it, you prefer the South African one, zero cholesterol. These are the things that make us have this BP party. Of course, there are things that I ask them to take, but also the people that assist. The okra, for example, those seeds, and even that, is green stuff, tends to suppress the BP a lot. It can still work on your eyesight, texture of your skin, for example, and even memory. Because the zinc, you find it in there. So it can boost your memory. So there are many things that people, for starters, tell your clients that they should stick to those diets that firstly are preventative of disease. Yes, before you move forward. But there are a lot of things. Arthritis you are talking about, once it's there, you can't do anything now because it's burning except certain painkillers. But if you eat certain types of fish, you won't catch arthritis. Tuna fish, pilchards. Mackerel, if you have a poor income, for example. Yes, all those will prevent the arthritis. So my herbalism, for example, or herbal treatments, I combine the traditional things and the foods that we must eat enough as Africans. Yes. Others busy eating your cream, there's nothing you have to do except assisting your memory and wiping off headache because we're only going for oil. That's not really helpful. So I hardly eat the creams. I do eat them because I miss them.
In traditional medicine, food is seen as medicine, and modern research now agrees. A diet high in processed foods such as fast food, packaged snacks, sugary drinks, and refined carbohydrates can weaken male sexual health over time. Erectile dysfunction is closely linked to poor blood circulation. Processed foods damage blood vessels, increase cholesterol, and raise blood pressure, making it harder for blood to flow properly to the reproductive organs. These foods also increase inflammation in the body and reduce nitric oxide, a natural substance that helps blood vessels relax. Without good circulation, strong and lasting erections become difficult. Another hidden effect of processed foods is hormonal imbalance. They can lower testosterone levels and increase insulin resistance, both of which reduce sexual desire and performance. Traditional healing systems teach that natural whole foods strengthen the body and preserve vitality. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, healthy oils, and fish support heart health and improve circulation, which also improves sexual function. Erectile dysfunction is not only a bedroom problem, it can be an early sign of heart disease and poor lifestyle habits. Healing begins with food, movement, and balance. By avoiding heavily processed foods and choosing natural nourishing meals, men can protect their strength, confidence, and reproductive health. In many Southern African cultures, a man's strength is not measured only by muscles or money, but by the rhythm of life he can pass on. Children are seen as the footprints of the ancestors, and fertility is a bridge between the living and the spirit world. So when a man struggles with erectile dysfunction or a couple faces infertility, it is not just a medical problem. It becomes a story problem, a story about balance lost. When sexual performance is compromised, conception becomes difficult. Erectile dysfunction and infertility are not just medical conditions. They are deeply personal experiences that affect identity, relationships, and self-worth. But beyond mechanics, traditional healers emphasize vitality, often described as life force, essence, or reproductive energy. In traditional medicine, fertility is not just about sperm. It is about overall strength, nourishment, and harmony within the body. Traditional wisdom teaches that a man's fertility is linked to nutrition. His performance is tied to stress and emotional well-being, and his health depends on his relationship with nature and community. From the forests and savannas come medicines believed to wake the sleeping drum. Roots and tubers like white ginger and hypoxis are used to restore desire and stamina, strengthen the body, and protect it from internal weakness. Baobab fruit and marula were prized not only for taste, but for giving vitality and cooling the blood so it could flow freely again. Traditional healers often focus on lifestyle. Poor sleep, chronic stress, excessive alcohol, and emotional burden are believed to weaken male vitality. Yet despite how common these conditions are, many men remain silent. Shame, fear, and cultural expectations prevent open discussion. In many communities, traditional healers become trusted confidants, offering privacy, understanding, and reassurance.
Erectile dysfunction and classify them in three. One being the physical attribute, the other one being the psychological attribute, and the other one being the spiritual attribute. This is slippery elm, locally known as Munanja in Shona and Isikukuku in Ndebele. It is actually called soap nettle in English. So this one is also taken in the cocktail of herbs that are there to address the physical aspects in terms of erectile dysfunction. This one enhances male sexual hormones, as it is also used in a process of enhancing fertility that we call kuuchika. One can either take the leaves, they can take the stem, or they can take the root. In the cocktail of herbs, it takes a role in enhancing male sexuality, sperm count, and semen count.
This is Nyao Nyao.
It is one of the most exciting products at the moment. It is used for fertility. It's also an aphrodisiac for ladies. The moment they take it, within 30 to 45 minutes, their libido would have changed. It also improves temperature. It also removes excess water. It also reduces the vaginal orifice and cavity. But other tests have also proven that it also assists fertility in men. So men can also take it. It is actually sweet. It's a fruit. And the word nyao nyao is actually derived from the fact that it makes the legs dance. So as you can see, it is sort of like jelly. And this is something which is dry. It is sweet in taste and is taken in yogurt, plain yogurt or mahel.
Modern science explains erectile dysfunction through disrupted circulation, hormonal imbalances, conditions like diabetes, smoking, and stress, among other causes. Traditional medicine speaks of improper diets, lack of harmony, blocked paths, and spirit imbalance. Two different languages, but often describing the same struggle, the body failing to do what the heart desires. Erectile dysfunction is not just about sex, and fertility is not just about babies. These are messages from the body, from the mind, and from our culture, warning that we pay attention because something is out of balance. In Southern African traditional medicine, the goal is never just to make a man perform. The goal is to make him whole again. Healing is not only about pills or plants. It is about restoring rhythm between body and blood, between partners, and between generations. If the drum of life is silent, do not only change the drumstick. First, tune the drum.
Good thing about natural, herbs, you don't have an addiction. You use and get the results or get performance improved. Then you're done with it.